Hi, this is Josh Black, and this is my week 10, already week 10, uh, discussion video on children and families. Reflect on my personal values, beliefs, or experiences that might influence how you view child protective services, foster care, or family preservation. Um, I think that my natural empathy, especially being a father of two little girls that are my entire world. Um, I think that makes it tough. Watching the video, watching that Lisa Ling video on Los Angeles Child Protective Services, that was pretty tough to get through. Uh, just because I tend to internalize everything and really think about how it would make me feel, and it's devastating, right? Just the idea of having your kids taken away from you uh, is something that has to be taken, in my opinion, taken more seriously than many other. I mean, not that other issues shouldn't be taken seriously, but when you talk about pulling a family apart, I think that there is an additional level of impact that has to be considered. Um, how might these values and experiences impact my work as a social worker? Um, I think that I would strive for preservation, if at all possible. Um, just just as speaking as a father and knowing how the pain that many parents go through when they aren't able to care for their children and what they must be feeling. Just the the failure. Like, I know personally, if I were in such a situation, I would feel like an enormous failure in life as a person. Like, having kids and raising children is such a basic human experience and fulfilling human experience that the idea of taking that from someone is not something that should be taken lightly. Um, but also, we have to the children's well-being comes first, and if they're in a situation uh, where the parents are putting them in harm's way, then unfortunately difficult decisions have to be made. Um, what strategies can help social workers remain ethical and culturally responsive when their personal views differ from those of the families they serve? This is where cultural competency comes into play, and just having an understanding of how uh, different cultures work. Like, they may not treat children the same way that you do, but that doesn't mean that they're being abused or neglected. Um, I think I see it a lot with some cultures putting uh, what many Americans would consider an abnormal amount of pressure on on children, especially in academic settings, uh, to have success. That it really can increase anxiety among children, and that's something, like, depending on the level of anxiety, the child may need help, but I don't know. That's not necessarily something that an abuse or neglect case where you would take a child. However, if someone was an addict and they were putting their kids in harm's way, um, that's a different situation. But you can't just go in, like, it's not just, oh, you're an addict, let me go in and take your kids. It's how can we serve everyone in the family so that we can keep this family together. uh, Poverty is another huge issue, and it can cause issues. Poverty, being experienced by the adults can affect the children. And I don't want to feel like we're punishing poverty instead of intervening and doing everything we can to preserve this family. And I'm over 6 minutes now, so I'll end that here. But yeah, just empathy and doing everything that we can to preserve the family and make sure that we're serving everyone in the family to try to keep things together is the utmost importance. Thank you.